Howdy and good day, my fellow gamers and game devs. My name is Ricky, and welcome to DEVLOG number 2 of Cosmic Renegade. So, I haven't posted in a while, and I'm sorry, I've been busy, but I have been working on some exciting new mechanics and playtesting them over the past few months. You'll probably see some of that over the next few videos. And by the way, if you find my videos helpful and you'd like me to post more often, please consider subscribing. It lets me know that you are interested. My only goal is to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and that's not a very high bar, but, you know, I only have 2 right now. Yes, and for the 2 of you that are my subscribers, thank you so much. You guys are the original homies. I appreciate it. It's probably because I don't post nearly enough. But anyway, if we hit this goal, I'll consider making videos on a more regular basis. Deal? Cool. Today, we are going to talk about an essential tool that every game developer should have in their arsenal. The Game Development Document, or GDD. In this video, we'll explore what a GDD is, why it's important, and how to use it to create amazing games. So, let's say you're a first-time indie dev like me, and you have all these cool ideas and possibilities spinning around in your head, and you're excited to dive into the weeds and start developing your game. So you boot up your game engine and start coding right away, right? Wrong. This was the very first mistake I made as an indie game dev, and I didn't start, like super long ago. I'm pretty new at this, and, typical overconfidence without much experience. I was pretty arrogant. I thought I could just get this done. But honestly, I went to work right away without thinking about the entirety of my game. And what ended up happening was that I ended up with a bunch of mechanics that, although I think well coded and well written, I might not actually end up using in the final product. I mean, you remember this? All the progress that I made from other videos that I posted on the channel? Wasted. Where did I go wrong? What could I have done to make sure that I was staying on track and working on the right thing that people would actually want to play? And this is when I finally made my game development document. So, what is a game development document? Well, a game development document is a game plan for your game. Pardon the pun. A GDD is a comprehensive guide that outlines every single aspect of a game's development, from concept and story to gameplay mechanics, graphics and sound effects, and even like marketing, budget, and timeline. It serves as a roadmap for the entire development team and ensures that everyone is on the same page when it comes to the game's vision, goals, and objectives. A GDD is typically a multi-page document that contains the following. It has an executive summary that details the game concept, target audience, and project scope. It has a gameplay section detailing objectives, progression, user interfaces, and controls. A mechanics section, like the rules, combat, and physics of the game. Game elements, like the world itself, the story, the characters, and the levels and level design. And lastly, assets like music, sound effects, art, sprites, models. Unity has a really nice 6-page template that I've linked in the description. There's also this other site called Nuclino that has an interactive GDD tool that I also linked in the description. I think this is paid after a trial period, but honestly, I think it could be a pretty great tool. I haven't really used it myself, but I think it could be pretty great especially for teams of, like 2 to 3 people. Just to keep everything easy to navigate. While both of these tools are great, you can kind of tell that a GDD can get very long. And the longer it is, the harder it is to keep updated and maintained as you develop your game. And for a solo developer, I found that it is a bit clunky for my liking, and it kind of messes with my flow, you know what I mean? So, to fix this, I made a 2-page GDD that any solo game developer can use as a starting point. The 2-page GDD was inspired by books about how to successfully and efficiently run startups. This was the book called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries and Running Lean by Ash Moria. In fact, it was Ash Moria's Lean Canvas that gave me the idea to create the indie game dev industry's, hopefully, first ever 2-page GDD. My templates link is in the description. Page 1 outlines the core elements of the game itself. The goal of this page is to give you a solid vision for the heart of your game. You've got genres, core mechanics, elevator pitch, game elements, story, tech stack, and assets all on one page. To start, I recommend starting with the target market under story to figure out who exactly you're building the game for, and then moving on to similar games under the genres to have other games to compare your potential game against. Second, I'd recommend tackling the elevator pitch section. This should describe your game in a single sentence. You can use the high-level concept section just below it to list out maybe like 3 to 5 bullet points about the core activities that players can expect to be doing in your game if you're having trouble coming up with that one sentence. And after that, the rest of your boxes you should be able to do as you please. Page 2, on the other hand, outlines the logistical side of your game. Like, this is the project management part of game development. We, of course, have budget, monetization, timeline, and stakeholders. Think of budget as your costs and your monetization as your revenue. And again, this game dev does not have to be a business all the time. You can absolutely make a game that's free to play. But you still need to have a budget to figure out how you're going to pay for things like art, music, and software that you may need to create your game. Likewise, the monetization section will help you define how you're going to afford those budget items. These can be things like donations during development, YouTube revenue, sponsorships, investments, or you can just write down how much you're going to contribute from personal funds. And if your game has a price tag, you should list it here. It gives you kind of a good idea for like what you might expect as your price point in the future. The last two sections are timeline and stakeholders, and I think personally are really up to you, especially if you're solo and you don't have any like investors or anything like that. Because I'm an indie dev mostly for fun, I don't have a strict timeline. And my stakeholders are basically me, my friends, and my D&D group. The 2-page GDD is meant to be a living document that you are absolutely allowed to update whenever you feel like it. You are going to be testing, refining, and even expanding it beyond your original 2 pages constantly throughout development. I mean, look at how many times I've updated mine. In conclusion, a GDD is an essential tool for game development. It helps you stay organized, focused, and on track throughout the game development process. And in this video, I introduced my 2-page GDD for solo game developers that doesn't necessarily need to turn into a huge document that you need to keep track of everything all the time. You're welcome. By following the steps I've outlined in this video, you can create a GDD that will guide your development process, that you can easily share your plans for your game with others, and to help you create amazing games that will delight and engage players. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more game development tips and tricks. See you in space, cowboys! Recently, I've been playtesting the tabletop version of Cosmic Renegade. Yes, I made a tabletop version solely to test out the mechanics. And you can play it just like playing with dice in a board game. I've been playing with dice by myself. It's not sad. Don't worry about it. But a few days ago, I ran a game where it was the mystery van from Scooby-Doo going up against the DeLorean from Back to the Future. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to share that with you guys. I'm just waiting for a few more playtests so that I can kind of finalize the mechanics before I fully code it in. A few others that I have in line are, let's see, the Vista Cruiser from That 70s Show, with Eric and Donna and Hyde and Kelso and Jackie. I've got the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean, and I even made the Megazord from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So let me know in the comments if there are other like pop culture ships or vehicles you'd like to see go head to head. I'm going to try my best to make up the stats for those. And yeah, I'd love to hear your ideas. For now, peace.